I'm just saying, why doesn't anyone talk about this subject on keto and carnivore diets? What's up, everyone, and welcome to my very humble channel where I like to talk about the stuff that nobody else does. So let's get into it. Why is it that so many people have digestive issues? A lot of you, most of you, have digestive issues, if not severe digestive issues, which leads to a bunch of inflammation and hormonal issues and issues on top of issues. And people doing a ketogenic and especially now a carnivore diet never talk about the problems with digesting all of that protein. Do you fit any of these descriptions? Okay. Bloated, constipated, burpy, acid reflux, loose stool, floating stool, but that's not all. Constipation can be defined in pooping every day, just not getting enough out. Or liquid stool can be constipation. Oh, there's more. There's yellow stool, pale stool, rock hard nuggets stool, and a lot of these are showing signs of digestive issues. The other symptoms obviously manifest in feeling bloated, face, not just your stomach, broken blood vessels around the nose, vertical lines on your nails, the ridges, crackly skin, dry skin, dark circles under the eyes, puffiness, overall puffiness, swollen legs. There are so many freaking crazy symptoms that are connected to poor digestion. And then on top of that, you try to slam a bunch of protein down. I haven't even gotten into the kidney function. That's a whole nother conversation. I would say almost everyone I know has some type of dysbiosis, microbiome imbalance, low stomach acid or too much stomach acid, hydrochloric production. You're fitting in one of these camps. How does this happen to all of us? Crappy food, sugar in food, preservatives in food, chemicals in the air, water, forever chemicals, too many pharmacological interventions like antibiotics and painkillers, and a plethora. Birth control pills, for example, allergy medication, antihistamines, NSAIDs. There are so many different types of normal medications that we take every day, proton pump inhibitors, antacid medication, all of these things. I haven't even gotten into the frickin' quality of the food and the advanced glycation end product from the frickin' sugar that's overwhelming our very sensitive systems. Yeah. Then we have stress, alcohol, smoking cigarettes. There are so many ways to destroy your gut. There are so many ways, and I don't think anyone is immune to having issues. Even the Amish, I live so close to the Amish, and I see health issues. They have way less, don't get me wrong, right? Less pharmacological interventions. But I see them. I see them at the Walmart. I look into their baskets. There's a lot of poor choices sort of like seeping into that culture as well. So everybody's friggin' accepted. Everyone is affected by being a modern human. It is, to my belief, when you look at people and look at their skin quality or look at their hormones or look at the way that they age, you can see inflammation on everyone. Oh boy, the leaky gut, the leaking gut. We have a small intestine and a large one. One is to absorb, the small one, and the large one is for waste to come out of. And both of them, well, the large also has the brunt of the bacteria that helps our body be healthy. But both of them are affected by the way that we live our lives today as a modern human, being exposed to even black mold and chemicals in our home and dyes in our clothing. I mean, you cannot escape this nonsense. The air we breathe, the plane farts that we see in the sky. I know. Leaky gut is when the small intestine, which normally when you're a child is tight. And even if your mom was like not eating properly, this can be compromised. Or if you were not breastfed or vaginally birthed, you can come out already with having leaky gut symptoms as a child, because you see babies with skin issues on top of issues. And okay, small intestine should be nice and tight. But because we are assaulted with toxins in every way, in every kind, it opens up. Now you have big open holes, very permeable. And now problems begin. Either big particles of food can now enter the bloodstream, or things like protein can start fermenting in your gut, which is putrefying and getting nasty. And that creates a whole host of problems and an offset of the stomach acid, as well as the microbes in the small intestine and the large. That's when inflammation begins to go crazy. The stomach itself also plays a major role in digesting of your food, and a lot of you have low stomach acid. You think it's high because you're having acid reflux, but really that acid sort of being pushed up, hitting your throat, and then you think that you're having too much stomach acid, and you start taking this medication, these proton pump inhibitors, to lower your stomach acid, and you are just making a festering messiness of a bacterial imbalance in your gut, where parasites and candida go freaking bonkers. Carnivore and keto people eat too much protein. The thing that no one talks about is the fact that, can you digest this protein? An uncoupling effect must happen in the stomach. Your parietal cells must produce enough caloric acids so peptides and enzymes can start to break down that protein. And the pancreas also has to function properly to even make the enzymes, which then break down the protein. Your protein has this unfolding effect. And pepsin, or pepsinogen, which is activated by your stomach acid, helps to really start to break down that protein into chyme, this liquidy, mushy stuff that can go into your small intestine. But if your stomach acid is not producing enough acid, you ain't breaking that stuff down. So now we're getting, and you guys eat way too fast. So you're eating too fast, and everybody's so afraid of fat that they're sitting there gorging on this protein, which ends up in your small intestine. And now we're having the second issue of fermentation, and small intestinal bacterial overgrowth starts to go bonkers, not badonkers, bazonkers. Think about it. You're eating your 2 meals a day. This is what people typically do. I can't with it. And a lot of people are walking around with hypoglycemia, and they're eating their 2 meals a day thinking that they're being healthy because some guru told them some nonsense. Okay? Because these gurus are not factoring in if somebody can even digest this dang protein. You're supposed to have an uncoupling effect. But these denatured fragments in your small intestine are not broken down enough. They sit there and they ferment. This creates an imbalance of bacteria immediately. And if you're coming from the world of gluten intolerance and the microvilli are broken down on your small intestinal wall, I mean, it is an atomic bomb of this bacterial overgrowth, accident, catastrophe more so, waiting to happen. Hydrogen, methane, and carbon dioxide. Yeah, that's what creates that bloat and that gas issue. The problem is a lot of you don't even know if you're bloated or not. There are so many people who don't pay attention to their digestion. You know, those are the types that are like, I'm so busy, I don't even notice that I'm hungry. It's you types. Yeah. You need to learn how to pay attention to your body and stop listening to your freaking body with the wrong ear. Stop listening to your body with the wrong false ear. That's another story about how many people say, well, I eat when I'm hungry, where you might be just dehydrated. I don't notice that I'm bloated. I don't notice that I'm hungry at all, but you have hypoglycemia, and you may not notice your 5th cup of black tea. Because I don't drink coffee, I drink black tea. By the way, for those with the really stinky farts, that's the fermentation process. That's the leaky gut people. You know, the ones who eat too much protein because somebody told them to eat 1 pound or 2 pounds a day or even 3, and they're eating it too fast, and they have low stomach acid, and they can't break down the protein, and it's fermenting in their gut, and it's turning into methane. If you're farting a lot and it's stinky, think twice about your health. I just find the digestive tract so interesting, and how the vagus nerve that goes all the way down to the gut affects your mood. You need pepsin to break down protein into peptides, but for that to happen, your pancreas has to function properly to release digestive enzymes, protease and lipase. Your intestine has to work properly, and it has to communicate with enough freaking acids in your stomach. It's all connected. Hypochlorhydria is not having enough stomach acid. And then on top of that, people who are doing keto or carnivore, they're eating these large amounts of protein, and the body has slow motility. Like, you're emptying too slowly. When things start to go way too slowly through the digestive tract, you don't poop, and those muscles atrophy. And then you might get a stuck ileocecal valve, and now you just can't poop, or you're not pooping enough. And there's enough people out there, or you have diarrhea, which is almost the same. I know I'm being kind of silly on the subject, but it is quite daunting that most people have some type of digestive issue, and that's beyond the candida or the toxic exposure to things. But just if you have enough motility and the pipes are trying to eliminate this excess protein that unfortunately often plaques or ferments what's plaquing in your large intestine, and then it's fermenting in your small, and you're not getting out these toxins. The slowing down, if the process of digestion goes too fast or way too slow, you're going to have problems eliminating excess protein because you had too much protein and you don't have enough digestive equipment and slow motility to get rid of it. It'll start plaquing in your large intestine. That plaquing of the poop can be reabsorbed by your bloodstream and make you toxic. Then on top of that, you're not getting rid of excess estrogen, which can get stuck in your liver and keep signaling this estrogen dominance of storing fat, making fat, pushing down your progesterone, dropping your testosterone. Here's the thing. Minding your electrolytes on a carnivore diet or keto diet is so important. They always say, oh, you don't need fiber to poop. Now, you need fiber to balance bacteria, but that's a whole nother subject. You don't technically need fiber to poop, but you best be hydrated. You need water in the colon to eliminate. And if you don't balance your electrolytes because you are peeing, because you are not consuming carbohydrates, and now your body begins to dump fluid via the kidneys, the water, to try to balance the whole homeostasis, will start pulling water from all places of the body, including the colon, and all that protein that you're supposed to get rid of, that some gurus say that if you're not pooping, it's because you're using all the protein. That's garbage. Remember, in protein metabolism and excretion, your body needs to get rid of the byproducts, urea, through being hydrated. And if you're eating too much protein with leaky gut and open holes in the gut wall, low stomach acid, slow motility, a bacterial imbalance, like I said before, that poop begins to plaque and stick like caking nastiness in your colon. And that is the reason why we see people often look just stressed, big pores, broken blood vessels, white tongue, like they don't look fresh in their skin, their eyes, their energy, the bags under the eyes. You're a toxic mess. Your digestion isn't working, and then you have the vagus or vagus nerve connected all the way down to your intestine, and it's sending this toxic signal up here, and then you have mood disorders. This is what they don't tell you when they say protein, eating a bunch of protein and fasting and just eating once or twice a day, and you can eat all your protein in one meal. No one's talking about if your digestive equipment is working. They're just saying things like, well, if you're not pooping, it's fine. It just means you're using up all the protein. Meanwhile, a lot of you guys are developing health issues from this theory, this suggestion that it's okay if you're not pooping. You must poop. You must have enough stomach acid. You must have good motility. You have to have a ileocecal valve that is working, that's not stuck open or stuck shut. You don't want to have a bacterial imbalance of bad bacteria. You don't want to eat food that creates more of a bacterial imbalance, like some fermented foods or cheeses. Yeah, it's a thing. I just want to educate you all that eat your protein, break it up. Don't eat it in 2 meals. If you have poor digestion, you're going to have to take small amounts of protein and eat it throughout the day, as to give this digestive system a release, not a break, but make it easier for your body to break down that ribeye or that steak that you're trying to consume. That if you're having a 6, 8, 10, 12 ounce steak, most likely most of you are not digesting it properly. What your body does not use often converts back into glucose, and that's why your blood sugar is bouncing around. You're not getting into ketosis. To get to the fat, you don't want to eat a bunch of ground beef to get into ketosis. You want to eat a moderate amount of ground beef and add fat. We always want to keep our protein moderate to low and really teach our digestive system to break down food properly by don't drink alcohol, don't stress your pants off, get off pharmacological interventions, the quality of your meat. You don't want your animals to be eating soy and corn and injected with a bunch of stuff and have a poor quality of life. You want to have quality food, and you want to slow your freaking lifestyle down. Stop eating so fast. Get some rest, and those stomach acids will rebalance. The peptides, the protease, the digestive enzymes will start to work properly, because the pancreas is another organ a lot of people just don't talk about when it comes to trying to digest protein. We know that your gallbladder has to work properly to digest fats, but no one's talking about the amount of protein and the digestive health and your pancreas. If you guys want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com. Book a consultation. I got your back. I've been doing this for so long. I've worked with thousands of people. I really feel like I've captured the understanding of what we all share with digestion. We often go through a lot of similar health crisis and problems. There's a red thread that goes through all of us, really. We share a lot of the same problems. So if you need help, I'm your girl. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Stephanie Ketogenic, my Facebook fan page at Stephanie the Business Person. I'm 55, going on 56, and I'm really training my body to detox. That's a big part of it, but that's a whole nother video. Get ready for the challenge. Signups are coming soon, and I'm out. Oh, I also have a course. It's a monthly subscription. You can sign up for that through stephanieperson.com. And I'm out because my horses are waiting for me to feed them. Look how beautiful it is there today. It's awesome sauce. Yep. Gonna feed my fur babies, and I'm out. Energy!
Well, hello, handsome. How are you? What are you doing? You silly horse. What is it? Look at him looking at me with that big old eyeball. Look at you. That big old head. Excuse me? Well, hello, handsome. Well, hello.